This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Nevada. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of Nevada and Learfield.
Hey there, friends, and welcome to another edition of Wolfpack All Access presented by Champion Chevrolet. I'm your boy, Mike Stephenson. Per usual, we have packed a bunch of pack coverage into the next half hour as the fall and winter sports seasons now collide with the start of Nevada basketball. But we'll begin with Silver and Blue football back to work following its second and final bye week. At 1-7, Nevada looking to change the narrative during its final four games, starting with a trip to Utah State. Our highlights of the Wolfpack and the Aggies are delivered by BTX Logistics. Here's Shannon Kelly.
The Wolfpack and Aggies meeting for the first time since 2023, and it's the last meeting between these two programs as Mountain West Conference mates. The Utah State offense and Bryson Barnes not wasting any time. Barnes connects with Brady Boyd. Boyd doesn't have a defender in sight. A 53-yard strike for the Aggies. 4 plays into the night, and it's 7-0. The Aggies offense not slowing down either, marching down the field on their second drive of the game and cruising into the end zone. 8 plays for 69 yards, and it's 14-0. Nevada's third drive of the night. Jones looking for Dakota Thomas, but it's headed the other way. Brevlin Hamblin picks it off and takes it to the house. This one is all Aggies early. It's 24-0 late in the first quarter. The freshman Jones having a rough night in Logan. Throws it right into the hands of the Aggies here. The turnover would lead to another Utah State touchdown. It's 34-0 Aggies. Barnes and the offense having a field day. The Wolfpack putting in backup AJ Bianco to try and change things up under center. But it was all Aggies in this one. Utah State outgaining the Wolfpack 335 yards to 47 in the first half. Chuba Purdy would enter at quarterback in the second half. Purdy drops back to pass and finds Caleb Ramzier to get the Pack on the board late in the third quarter. But Utah State wins big, 51-14, your final.
All right, so the Pack falls to 1-8 overall and now 0-5 within the Mountain West Conference. Next up, Nevada welcoming San Jose State to Mackey Stadium. That game Saturday at 12:30. Later on Wolfpack All Access, more from football as we feature the nutritionist fueling the Pack, Brittney Patera. But first things first, our Sunday chat with Jeff Choate is coming up on Wolfpack All Access. We are back on Champion Chevrolet's Wolfpack All Access following Nevada football's road game at Utah State. Here is our Alex Margulies sitting down with head coach Jeff Choate.
Good Sunday morning. Welcome inside Legacy Hall. Head coach Jeff Choate, Alex Margulies. Nevada coming back from Logan after your loss at Utah State, and really no way to sort of sugarcoat this one. This was a tough one for a lot of people to watch, yourself included. What was your sort of just takeaway on what went down on Saturday?
Yeah, I know. We started off the game, won the toss, deferred. They tried to run the ball between the tackles a couple times to no avail, and even I think it was the fourth play of the game. Our nickel falls down on a slot fade, and that becomes an explosive pass. It just kind of happened fast. At actually the start of the game, it was deja vu a little bit like what happened against San Diego State, where you're trying to weather the storm and you look up and you go, oh my goodness, we're down 3 scores already. And that totally changes a lot of what you're thinking in terms of game plan and things of that nature. I feel for Carter. I think on the pick six, that was a fantastic play by their kid. He's trying to fit the run, recognizes the RPO, jumps up, puts one hand up and makes a great play. And I think that obviously affected his confidence a little bit. And then the second interception that he threw there in an up front, they pop a guy out right into the window where he knows, hey, I got to throw hot here, and that's my hot throw. So he's really doing what he should be doing there. And they had a great call, again, into that one. And so, credit Utah State for putting a good plan together. And, very disappointed that we weren't able to be more competitive in that game. And, that's a tough one, and it's hard when you you know that you're close. You know that you've got an opportunity. That's gut wrenching. But when the avalanche happens, it's hard to dig yourself out of that. And so I feel like that's kind of what happened to us a little bit. We're a little shell shock coming off, and wanted to make sure we did everything to kind of preserve Carter's confidence. And thought AJ did a nice job coming in a tough spot. He ended up, the reason that Chubba finished the game is because AJ ended up having a thumb injury, and so that kind of adjusted what we were doing there. And I felt like really on both sides of the ball, there were some guys trying to do some hero ball. And I know, having even been there myself a million years ago as an athlete, when things aren't going well and you're like, hey, I got to make a play. Well, really what you got to do is just do your job and trust the other guys to do their job. And when you start doing more than your job, usually everything's going to kind of everybody suffers in that situation. I felt like whether it was Chubba, not taking care of the football as he's going in down low and just trying to do one more thing than he needed to do, just do the next right action. And defensively, there was some of that too, because we've been really good at limiting explosives.
Right.
And as you and I were speaking a moment ago, I thought Barnes, man, that guy was accurate and on point, and he made some great throws into contested situations. And those things are going to happen. You kind of tip your hat to him and say, hey, great throw and catch, see you next series. What you don't want to have happen is, dropping coverage on a wheel route where it just becomes too easy for him. And so one guy that stood out to me and continues to, just show up as a true competitor is Chris Smalley. The block punt that he had, he's getting splattered. And at the last minute, instead of reaching with his right arm, he just kind of throws his left arm out there and blocks a punt. And I think that's just Chris, man. It's just, we have this kind of adage in special teams, sacrifice the body, glorify the soul. And he kind of embodies that, like whatever it takes to get the job done. And, I think that sends a message like, hey, this guy's still putting it out there, still laying it out there. And we had some guys on defense. I thought Thomas Woody played his tail off last night. Jonathan Maldonado did some nice things. And up front, I thought Andrew Madrigal really hung in there and was stoic and confident and continued to lead the offensive line group. And so, and Jack Carpenter had a big game too, but that's, too little too late. And, we've got to find a way to not make those mistakes early in the game. When we don't do that, generally speaking, it's going to be a 4-quarter
fight.
It's
the big mistakes and then the big shot plays in this game. So now as you move your attention ahead to San Jose State, you get back home, how do you kind of dust yourself off to get ready for next Saturday to, I know it's week by week that you have to just sort of be focused, but I'm sure it gets harder and harder as you guys are not getting the success that they're hoping for.
Right, and I think that, I think consistency is important, but I also think that messaging matters and being realistic and honest about our situation and recognizing that, hey, at the end of the day, we've got 3 opportunities left to go compete.
Right.
We're not going to make this misery. Let's go enjoy each other's company. Let's go compete our butt off. Let's put a good plan together. Let's compete. Let's find a way to taste victory.
Right.
And let's remember, we do have a really consequential game. I think I see the UNLV game as if that's like a bowl game for us at this point now. And so trying to get some guys back. We did over the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, we've taken some hits in the injury department. And hopefully we can get some of those guys back. And if not, we'll let those young guys roll. We've got a really talented group of freshmen that have been getting their share of experience early on. And that's kind of going to be my message to them.
When you look at San Jose State this year on tape, they've had an up and down season. What has kind of stood out to you about the matchup?
A lot of like what we watched last night when Eggert's hitting Scudero and number 1 and number 4 down the field, and they're making plays, especially on deep balls. They're very explosive and hard to defend. And when you can mitigate that, they've kind of had their lulls on offense. Now, they are stout on the defensive front. I like their front 7. I think Latu kid's a really good player, number 50. He's an all-conference type of guy at nose for him. So I think they've got some talent on their front, but what really makes the whole thing go is their ability to push the ball down the field vertically to their outside receivers and Eggert's ability to make good decisions in the throw game. And like I said, when they do that, that becomes a problem. Now, last night, obviously, they play an Air Force team that's going to kind of take the air out of the ball, possess the ball. That's a key there, too. And I think that obviously helps the defense of Air Force because their offense is on the field so long. But they did a nice job of playing zone, not giving up the home run, let them have their yards underneath, and then keep them out of the end zone. And I think that's a key in this upcoming matchup.
Next, ready or not, it is time for Round Ball. Both the Pacs men and women kicking off their campaigns this week. We've got highlights and reaction when Wolfpack All Access rolls on. Wolfpack All Access presented by Champion Chevrolet continues as basketball season enters the picture. Nevada's men have a revamped roster featuring 4 returners and 10 newcomers as the Pack looks to get back to the NCAA tournament in Steve Alford's 7th season. It started Tuesday at home with Louisiana Tech in town, and the Silver and Blue had little issue with its old Western Athletic Conference foe, blitzing the Bulldogs from the opening tip behind stout defense and a pretty balanced offense. 4 Pack players scored at least 9 points, led by Chuck Bailey III's 24. Nevada out-rebounded La Tech by 19 and held the Dogs to just 36% shooting en route to a rout 77-50 in the season opener. Nevada then welcomed Pacific for a Saturday tussle. Here is Shannon Kelly again with a recap of the Pack and the Tigers.
Halfway through the first half, the Wolfpack turning defense into offense. Tyler Rollison's pass saved by Vaughn Weems, and it falls into the hands of Amir Robinson, who knocks down a shot from downtown. The Wolfpack is on a 10-0 run and takes its first double-digit lead of the night. The Tigers rallying back late in the first half, knocking down a wide-open 3 to take their first lead of the night. It's 33-32. Seconds left until halftime. Rollison flying down the court and driving to the rim, floats it up and it is good, but the foul shot is no good, so we'd have a tie game at 40 at halftime. Under 12 to play, a 1-possession game. Rollison feeds Peyton White, count the bucket and the foul for the freshman. It's 54-49. The Wolfpack holding the Tigers without a point for about 4 minutes. Under 6 to play, Pacific rallying. Ralph drains another 3. The Tigers taking a 5-point lead. Nevada would continue to claw away. A nice pass here from Camper over to Rollison. Nevada takes a 2-point lead off of this triple, and Lawler is getting loud. We have ourselves a nail-biter in Reno. The Tigers with a rare miss from 3 here. And how about Joel Armo trading with some strong defense, draws a foul. He would knock down the free throw to give Nevada a 5-point lead with 30 seconds to play. Rollison inbounds the ball and is looking for Comer. Gives the Tigers not 1, but 2 chances to win it. The Wolfpack survives against Pacific 78-77, your final.
Happy with the win, but lots of things to work on. We made a lot of mistakes that game, so when Monday comes here, we're just gonna put in all that work and hopefully we're better for the next one.
It's always good to learn from a win. I would rather learn from a win than learn from a loss, but just having the film of all the bad plays we did and all the things we need to work on, I think it was good that they tested us. We knew it would be storms that we have to get through, so this was a good test and we ended up surviving it. So.
Nevada's women tipped things off Monday with Division II opponent Cal State San Marcos, a game that was tight into the third quarter before the Pack outscored the Cougars by 14, eventually winning 70-53. 4 Pack players scored in double figures, led by Array Young's 15. The Pack then hit the road for a Thursday morning game at Sac State and hit a road block, falling to the Hornets for the first time in 30 years, snapping a 16-game winning streak over Sac State. That ugly final was 65-45, which prompted some early season frustration for 9th-year head coach Amanda Levins.
I think we're a little bit shell-shocked. I thought we played extremely inexperienced, and, that's disappointing, but also I think a little bit normal, unfortunately. I think if we can learn from this will be great for us in the long run. Hopefully moving forward, we can learn and grow from this.
Nevada now welcomes LMU Thursday at 10:30 a.m. It is the annual When I Grow Up game over at Lawler Event Center. Then the ladies are over to St. Mary's for a Sunday game. The men will host Southern Illinois on Wednesday night before visiting Santa Clara on Saturday. All right, coming up, Fueling the Pack. It is a new era for Nevada football's nutrition, and we are spotlighting the woman in charge. That's next on Wolfpack All Access. It is Wolfpack All Access presented by Champion Chevrolet. I am Mike Stephenson. Nevada football's daily efforts burn a ton of calories, and with head coach Jeff Choate's arrival came an extra emphasis on replenishing the pack. Once more, here is Shannon Kelly, who features the woman tasked with fueling the squad.
Brittney Patera didn't picture a career in nutrition until college.
I took a nutrition class and I loved it. And I kept getting A's and I was like, I think this is a sign. Here we are. I don't work a day in my life, so I think I chose the right thing.
The Bozeman, Montana native was the first registered dietitian in the Big Sky Conference, launching Montana State's nutrition program in 2017 under now Nevada head coach Jeff Choate, who says she was his most important hire when he joined the Wolfpack.
Coming here, there was like instant support. I knew I couldn't do it without students. The athletic department helped make that possible. You know, I knew what I had to do and things I had to find because I already had done that. So I was like, I need fridges, I need a table, and I need places to order food from. And what I did here in a month, it took me almost a year to do at Montana State.
Tasked with building Nevada football's nutrition program from scratch, Patera has 8 interns to help her fuel more than 100 players.
She goes out and recruits this small army of people that make sure the smoothies are ready to go, and post-practice recovery stuff's out there. And she does a great job with our guys in terms of education, and she has the ability to do one-on-ones, take them shopping, to go down the aisle and say this, not that. And I think it's an unbelievable resource for us. I think it's probably one of the most impactful things that we have in our program right now, one of the best things that we have in our program.
I really get to work with the guys on off-season. That's when we focus on their weights and when I can really teach them and integrate new nutrition stuff with them.
Patera estimates more than 3/4 of the players she's worked with have changed their eating habits.
If anything is green in the smoothie, they're probably not gonna like it. And so it's like educating them, or like showing off their pictures of the meals that they cooked, or them taking their supplements, like them taking ownership and pride in what they do and wanting to show that to me, I think is very rewarding.
Over the summer, Patera and the Wolfpack built their first fueling station, dedicated to serving and storing food inside of the team's weight room.
So many of the guys that were here before, they're just like, this is amazing, we never got this before. And then these other freshmen just coming in, they'll never know what it's like without that fueling station.
She's done an unbelievable job. Our nutrition is night and day difference from what I had when I first got here. I think Coach Choate did a great job bringing her in, and I think her and her staff are unbelievable.
She does a great job. I don't think people here are ever very hungry. And she shows us what to eat, when we should eat it, how much we should eat. So she breaks it down very simple, where it's like, you have to understand what's happening.
As Patera helps replenish the football program, she has goals in mind to continue building her department too, with Choate as one of her biggest advocates.
He always says what happens in the dark will always come to light. And it's like, keep going with your nutrition and it will pay off. We're still in the process of rebuilding the team and figuring stuff out, but I'm like, their nutrition-wise, how far they've come, even the past 6 months, is huge.
For Wolfpack All Access, I'm Shannon Kelly.
Patera has huge plans for the future, including more nutrition-dedicated infrastructure, chefs, and maybe even cooking lessons for the players themselves. All right, next we'll wrap a bow on this week's show, looking around the rest of Wolfpack land. Stick with us. Wrapping things up here on Wolfpack All Access. Nevada volleyball playing 2 home matches this week, starting with a Thursday night sweep of Fresno State. The Pack then stayed home to welcome San Jose State, falling to the Spartans to make it a 1-1 week. Nevada remains at the Virginia Street Gym, welcoming New Mexico and Grand Canyon this week, those matches Thursday and Saturday. Men's golf was island living this week, wrapping up its fall schedule with a 6th place finish out of 18 teams at the Pearl at Kala'uau Invitational on Oahu. Nevada's 5-over par finish was solid, but also 26 strokes back of first place West Virginia. Elsewhere, reigning Mountain West Player of the Year Amahi Charrier was in action at the Intercollegiate Tennis Association's Conference Masters Championships, winning her first match before falling in the round of 16 to the tournament's top seed. A semifinal finish would have clinched her a berth to the NCAA tournament. Meanwhile, the men's team spent the weekend at the Hidden Duels in San Diego. And finally, some notes from the athletic department. Kids 8th grade and under will get free admission to Saturday's football game against San Jose State. Parents who purchase an end zone general admission ticket can bring their kiddo free of charge. Kickoff against the Spartans once again is set for 12:30. And men's basketball 5-game mini plans are on sale. Pick any 4 contests plus the UNLV game and it starts at $120. And a family 4-pack of women's basketball season tickets can be yours for $150. Head to NevadaWolfPack.com for all of the above. All right, that's all, folks. Thanks as always for kicking it here on Wolfpack All Access, presented by Champion Chevrolet. I'm your boy Mike Stephenson saying so long, friends. We'll see you soon.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.